What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Paint Points. It's that man, Abu is Brother Man. And today we got another video for the Washington Commanders draft targets for the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's check it out.
Let's just get to the point.
All right, let's get to it, man. If this is your first time here, if you've been here before, I appreciate you watching the video, clicking on that thumbnail. Man, like, comment, subscribe, and beat up the comment section, man. Let me know who else we need to cover, what other angles we need to look at, what other storylines we need to, approach as well. With that being said, today we're looking at Caleb Downs, safety, number 2 out of The Ohio State University. Previously with the Alabama Crimson Tide, but he transferred in the transfer portal to Ohio State, and he's had success. His success has carried on with him through there. So let's go ahead and check out some highlights and let's see how he fits, why he's touted as a top prospect in this draft, why he's touted as the top safety in this draft, and how he looks as being a Commander. Check out some of the highlights, man. Let's see why he's so feared, man. All right, strong tackle. I like that. Okay, if he's a leader of a number 1 defense, that's what you want. That's what you want on your team. You want the leader of the number 1 defense on your team, no matter the contribution. Communication. Looks like he can talk to his guys. And he got sticky coverage in the secondary. And he can come up and make the tackle. Closeout speed. I like that. Caleb Downs looking like he might be that guy, number 7. If you check out some of my other videos on the Commanders draft targets, you'll see that there are If we take Caleb Downs with the number 7 pick overall in the draft in the first round, there's still wide receivers. We did a video on Elijah Surratt out of Indiana. He just won a championship with the Hoosiers. He could come in and be that X receiver. He could be that guy who you put him on the outside and he just worked with his real estate. I'm talking about back shoulder throws. I'm talking about fades. I'm talking about red zone presence. I'm talking about strong hands. I'm talking about, a guy that can lead your wide receiver room once Terry moves on. But I like what I see out of Caleb Downs. He's looking good.
Caleb Downs.
How long ago was this? This was March 5th. They talking about him going to the Jets at number 2. Hold up, we gotta hear this out. Let me hear him out, man.
He is the face of the franchise. As great of a football player is, he's a better human being. He wants to learn. He's always trying to make
that sound like a Commander to me.
Himself better. He is like having a coach on the.
We need a guy like we need it. Let me think. All right. I'm looking for leaders, right? Mikey Sainristil is a good guy, is a great guy, a great player. But is he a leader in that locker room? You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Trey Amos, he seemed like a guy that's gonna be about his business. He probably stick to himself. He's not in the lead in a whole bunch of men. You look at the D-line, we signed some guys who you would say, hey, we paid you enough money where you gotta lead, bro. Quinn Martin, it's our safety, Martin. Bobby Wagner's gone, so there's a huge void that's being left behind as far as, leadership role. I believe the way the defense is actually built, I don't think we need leaders on the defense. But I do believe, with Adafe, with Leo Chanel, with, Caleb Vaughn, Umane, Ahmed Robinson, Justin Cross, I believe that we picked up a bunch of guys that can hold their own. We picked up in free agency. We picked up a bunch of guys that you can give them their homework and they're gonna come back the next morning with their homework done, completely done. Now adding a guy like Caleb Downs, you adds another alpha to the room, but an alpha that can probably take that leadership role on the shoulders at an early age.
Field. He sees it just like you see it. It's in front of him all the time, so he can move.
But hearing that he's a franchise player for Ohio State, he is that guy, he is that leader, I won't mind taking him at number 7.
Move those chess pieces around just like you can. And
I won't mind taking him at number 7 because Elijah Surratt, wide receiver out of Indiana, should be available at pick 71 in the 3rd round. That means we're not going to get Jeremiah Love either. In the 4th round, Emmett Johnson should still be available by the 4th round, by the time we pick in the 4th round. And that could be your answer for running back. So you get your leader for the defense for years and years to come. You get, in the 3rd round, you get a wide receiver that can go along with Jaden for years and years to go. And then you get a running back as well, and Emmett Johnson that can be your bell cow running back for years and years to come. You now have a nucleus of guys who are right around JD5's age and can grow with him.
A lot of times it's great. We'd be in games and I'd be thinking something. I'd be like, hey, I'm kind of thinking. He's like, I'm already with you.
You would go to him for counsel.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to rely on the players. I don't play. It's great for me to look out there and say, hey, let's do this, but I'm not out there. That's no good. He has that in-game ability to adjust just like a coach. So, again, when you're talking about stepping it up to the next level, a guy with the skill set that can play in the box, has great run instincts, can blitz, can cover, can play man-to-man, played in the deep part of the field. He picked up a ball from
from his highlights we've seen, he knows how to run fit. He knows how to fit the run very well. He knows how to come downhill with violence, with speed, with power. We've seen his closeout speed. He can close out and he can catch a guy, that's running to the touchdown. There's not too much that we can see negative about Caleb Downs.
The line of scrimmage, you know how hard that.
And then to hear this from the defensive coordinator that he is the leader of that whole side of the football, that's another thing as well.
That is, you're in the line of scrimmage, you drop out, jumps up, grabs it. Just that sort of dynamic playmaking ability is what he has.
Caleb Downs, take us through him.
Can Caleb Downs, God damn, my bruh's cut. Can Caleb Downs be what we've been missing at the safety position for almost 20 years at this point, since Sean Taylor? Can Caleb Downs be that guy? We've drafted so many safeties over the past almost 20 years, and no one has been able to come in and lead and be that difference maker that Sean Taylor once was and great at. Let's move on. Looks like we got Mel.
Why isn't Caleb Downs with those top 3?
I think Caleb Downs, if he physically had an elite trait to go along with his elite tape, do you know what I mean? He's not Eamon length, height, but he's not a 4.3. I think he's probably going to run 4.4. My guess is he'll run at Ohio State. Whereas Bailey's elite explosiveness. Arvell Reese is elite in 6'4", wingspan, 245. Jumps through the roof.
Pterodactyl, yeah.
If he works out at the combine, it's going to be just sensational. We're all going to be, And Jeremiah Love, I think we all agree, from the straight line speed to hit the body type, he's got elite traits.
Yeah, man, I just have a hard time with it when you look at the total package and think that Caleb Downs is behind anyone in this draft. Why isn't Caleb Downs?
So Caleb got some doubters too. Which, hey, that's not a bad thing. We all got haters. We all got doubters. But Todd McShay does bring up a great point. What is he great at? What is Caleb Downs great at? As far as greatness, I can say he's probably great at things that we can't see. To be honest, his head coach, his defensive coordinator just said that he is that guy when it comes to the defensive side. So it sounds like there are a bunch of things that we can't see. There are a bunch of calls that he saves for the D coordinator. But overall, you know, it sounds like we'll be getting a leader in number 2. We'll be getting a solid piece, a guy who can cover and you know help in the run.
6'7", I just bit.
Let's not get copyright, man. They're trying to copyright my ass, boy. Let's move on. Let's check something else out. All right, so he talks about Caleb Downs again.
I think he has the best instincts and recognition skills of any defensive.
And that could be what he's elite at. Instincts and recognition skills. You know, sometimes you got to search for where where the player is. The screen. But when you look at the highlights, you can see, there's something about that guy. You know, he might be as good as they say he is. Although there isn't like one thing that you can say he does better than the other. Which, you know,
I've
could be a good thing.
evaluated since Ed Reed.
I came in a
Hey, he called him Ed Reed. Damn, Todd. Damn, Todd. Call that
defensive
man
position
Ed Reed.
because one of
That's a
our
big-
listeners,
That's a big weight to handle, man.
when we were talking about Caleb Downs right after the draft and in the way too early mock, dropped that's way too early for a box safety. But Caleb Downs is not just a box safety. This guy's an interchangeable dude who could play high. Go back and look at the pick he had against Mississippi State when he's a freshman at Alabama, and he's reading the quarterback. He's getting off the hash. He's tracking.
All right, and I like that too. I like when a dude been doing it since day one. He been doing it since day one.
The ball and he's plucking the ball out of the air. This guy can cover over the top. He can do all of those things. And when you see him when you see him run the alley, when he's coming from that high, you know, from a high safety spot, he gets downhill in a hurry. He is quick. He closes well. He breaks on the ball well. He has all of those things. This is a guy I think they play anywhere you would ask a safety to play.
I think he has the best instincts.
For a team that potentially can go 17-0. The goal is to pick a current player from that said NFL team. Okay. So we're going to build a 7.
All right, so he's going to build an NFL 17-0 team with quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, and coach. Let's see how much football he knows, or if he just knows about his next opponent.
17-0 team with the great Caleb Downs.
Let's do it.
You got to pick one of these from that team. And Mike Tomlin is not available because, of course, he stepped down. I already know you wanted to go Mike T. You can't.
I'm going to go Darnell Washington.
Darnell Washington, tight end.
Bruh. I guess you already got no choice, huh? Either pick DK for the. I probably would have went with defense over Darnell Washington. You know, defenses are terrible nowadays. I would have went, instead of picking Darnell Washington for the tight end, I would have picked the Steelers defense. Let's see who's next. So if y'all probably can't see this. So it's picking between QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end. He just picked Darnell Washington from the Steelers. And then below that is defense and coach. Let's see what's next.
Okay. Miami.
Damn. Miami, we're trying to build a 17-0 team, right? Miami Dolphins. Let's see. This better get tricky. Miami Dolphins, you got to go running back and get Devon Achane. That's the only move.
Who's their wide receiver? I mean, no, who's their running back?
Devon Achane.
Devon Achane.
Achane. Good pick. Good pick.
Right,
good
now
pick.
he's smart. I don't know that first pick picking that tight end down there Washington. Down there Washington is almost 300 fucking pounds. Goddamn. You ain't going 17-0 with a 300-pound tight end. I'm telling you that right
Cleveland.
now. Damn. Cleveland defense. Defense.
You know who that defense.
Gotta go
You know
defense.
that, yeah.
You watch ball. This man know football. Arizona.
Ooh, yeah, Unchi. Marvin Harrison Jr. and wide receiver. Damn, that's a hard game to play. See, tight end would be over. You could get McBride. McBride will take you to a 17-0 season. But if we took away McBride and we brought the Steelers to defense and the Browns, he would have had to choose. He choose a running back. Hey, this game is tricky. All right, so he got Devon Achane at running back. The Steelers, Darnell Washington at tight end. And you got the Browns, Cleveland Browns defense.
Oh, no. Oh,
Arizona. Oh, yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr.
I know you got to
with-
go.
What were you about to say?
You got to go Marvin.
We got to go Marvin.
You gotta go Marvin.
Marvin. Give me some.
Wash.
Ooh, we going quarterback. Ain't no way you picking Dan Quinn over Jaden Daniels. It don't work like
Chitin. They get
I'm
life
going
don't
Jay
work.
got to go Jay Daniels. Now, this is our coach right here. Next up is our coach. Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Great.
We'll take it. I like this game. We'll take it. Kellen Moore leading the way with the Browns defense. Darnell Washington is my only question mark. Is he able to hold up for the entire season?
So how you feel about Caleb Downs' team? So I'm
All right, that wasn't bad. All right, let's see what else we got.
Those two guys in particular that you mentioned both have versatility. You know, Arvell, but you look at Sonny, then you look at Caleb, and you see guys who can do multiple things. Then it becomes harder to recognize what exactly how you're being
All this damn talent and you ain't win the championship? Great.
attacked.
You ain't win the conference championship? Great.
And you know, I thought Texas did a nice job, you know, with some of their guys and what they were doing.
All this talent, bruh. Offense and defensive side of football. Ryan Day, they should have fired your ass, boy. All this talent, and we still lose?
Very similar.
To Kurt Signetti, who's bringing JMU transfers over to Indiana to beat your ass, boy.
But yeah, the more versatility you have, then the harder it is to peg down what exactly is going on in that play. And you know, I think our guys take a lot of pride in being able to disguise looks pre-snap and then give different looks post-snap, which again is all good, but you got to execute them. And the coverage and rush have to work together. Those two guys in particular that you mentioned both have versatility.
Howard, the freshman that they really like. First down from the 34. And incomplete. And a flag.
All right, bro. You know, you can't bring this to the NFL because they're gonna throw that flag, boy. I just need you to bring that a little bit lower and put your shoulder into his chest and his stomach area rather than going high to the helmet. But you can tell he that enforcer out there on the field, man. He's that enforcer out there on the field, man. Like, you know, Caleb Downs, man, and what he brings to any team. You know, as far as his skill set and, you know, how he can fit with any team and how that team can also build around him. You know, Caleb Downs is actually the exact type of defensive back Dan Quinn covets. Dan Quinn goes after. He's instinctive, versatile, physical, and he's assignment sound. Quinn's defenses thrive when the safety position can rotate, disguise, and support both the run and pass without tipping coverage. Downs checks every one of those boxes. He emerges as one of the most polished young safeties in college football. Immediate impact player with advanced instincts, elite tackling efficiency, and physicality in the box. We talked about this already. We talked about how he's able to assist in the box, and he's very efficient when it comes to his tackling. Don't look like he let too many guys get past him on the football field. You know, the smooth transitions and coverage with high football IQ. We saw that as well. We saw his high football IQ come into play a lot of times. Consistent production and leadership presence. This is everything Caleb Downs gives to the Washington Command or brings to the Washington Commanders. He earned national recognition as one of the best young defenders in the country. His college tape shows a player who rarely takes false steps and plays with the maturity of a veteran. Like we said before, he barely takes false steps, When he's about to make his tackle, you see him buzz his feet. He sticks to his fundamentals. That's what you want as a guy. You want a guy out there on the football field that you know what he gonna do. You know what he gonna do. And Caleb Downs checks all the boxes. You know what I'm saying? He's very sure. He has sure feet. Now, while Downs is an outstanding near the line of scrimmage, he's far more than a downhill enforcer. He can rotate into deep coverage and handle single high responsibilities. He can read quarterbacks' intentions quickly and close his space with burst. You know, a lot of these guys, they can read the field, they can read the play, but they can't close out as fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Or they got great closeout speed, but you know, their football IQ isn't high enough to recognize the play. You know, play recognition is very important. Downs also, you know, makes plays on the ball from depth, not just underneath. He's comfortable with matching tight ends and bigger slot receivers, which makes him perfect for today's game. His dual ability, the box dominance plus deep field reliability, is what makes him such a rare prospect at safety. Now, fitting with Dan Quinn, it does look like he's one of those guys that can fit with Dan Quinn. Look at Cam Chancellor. Look at Thomas, the other safety that was with Dan Quinn in Seattle. You know, Dan's best defenses were with Seattle and Dallas. They were all built around rangy, intelligent safety who can erase mistakes, a tone setter who tackles cleanly and communicates coverage, a player who allows the defensive coordinator to disguise fronts and rotate post-snap. Downs fits that blueprint perfectly. He gives Quinn the freedom to be aggressive in the front seven because he trusts the safety behind him. You know, when you look at, you know, the football side of things and what they say about, you know, Caleb Downs, you know, they say that he is that enforcer. They say that he is that leader. He is that guy, that go-to guy. He is that guy that walks around with the green dot. You know what I'm saying? They also say, you know, he is one of the most complete safety prospect in years. He's a plug-and-play defender with all-pro upside. He's a coach's dream with discipline, physical, and always in the right spot. You know, analysts highlight his rare combination of instincts, technique, and maturity, noting that he plays with the poise of a multi-year NFL vet despite his age. You know, as far as, you know, fitting with the Commanders, you know, Caleb Downs gives Washington a high IQ, scheme versatile safety who elevates Dan Quinn's entire defensive structure and brings immediate leadership and playmaking to the back end for the Washington Commanders. Man, need I say more? Damn. Need I say more? Damn. Hey, Caleb Downs might be that guy at number 7. You know, by chance, if you got a guy like Carnell Tate, you got a guy like Jeremiah Love who are both gone. Even if they are still there, you still might have to go with a guy like Caleb Downs because he's going to be that cornerstone for your defense for years to come. He's going to be that Ed Reed. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be that Sean Taylor for your team. He's going to be that leader. And that's who Caleb Downs is. That's who he's projected to be. And that's who he's said to be. Man, shout out Caleb Downs. Shout out Ohio State. And shout out, you know, all the videos that we looked at for reference into this athlete who will be chosen in this year's upcoming draft. If you gotten this far, I do appreciate you for watching the video. I appreciate you for clicking on that thumbnail, man. It's that man, Abu's brother, man. You watch another video on paint points. Hey, like I said before, man, if you're new to the channel, if you've been here before, like, comment, subscribe, and beat up that comment section, man. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see as well. Do you believe the Commanders can take Caleb Downs at number 7 and still be okay? Still be able to find offensive talent later in the draft to go along with Jayden Daniels? Do you believe Caleb Downs is that guy? Do you believe we should pass on him? Hey, beat up the comment section. Let us know, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.